On this episode of the Carolina Sports Guy, we're going to look at the Charlotte Hornets as we've gotten into free agency now. A couple transactions have taken place. Where do we go from here? Before we get into today's content, folks, make sure you subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Make sure you pound that like button. Leave me some comment, folks. I love the dialogue. And also, hit that bell notification so you can be notified of future videos on the Charlotte Hornets, Carolina Panthers, and the Carolina Hurricanes, as well as major sports in both North and South Carolina. All right, folks. Charlotte Hornets, kind of made a video the other day, and as things are wrapping up, I get the unpleasant news. I think I did post it in my video as I edited it, but I wanted to briefly give a shout out to Devontae Graham. The guy was an undrafted or second round pick from Kansas. I want to say second round pick. He was either second round or he was undrafted, but signed with the Hornets. The guy's been incredible. He's been everything. He's a lot better. The guy should have been a first-round pick. The guy's really good. And I loved his game. Kemba brought him along when he was here. And the guy really, his game has blossomed. And I thought, when we put the tender on him, I thought for sure he was going to stick around and we're going to work something out. Of course, New Orleans needing guard play, bring him in. They're getting a great player. Of course, here we go with New Orleans again, the Pelicans. First, they take our franchise. We're lucky to get the franchise name back. Then they take Anthony Davis in a draft that we should have had. And then they took Chris Paul in one draft we should have had. We're stuck with Ray Felton. And then they get the lottery and win Zion Williamson, and we didn't even win it or get close. That team, man, in New Orleans is always screwing us over, and I get sick of that. But here we go again. I do hope Devontae Graham, I wish him well, because he exemplified what we needed as players for this organization. And to me, it was the biggest blow of anybody we've lost. But we did retain something. We did get a first-round pick. Now, I know that's lottery protected, so if New Orleans was back in the lottery, we wouldn't get it. But if New Orleans can make the playoffs, the West is brutal. But if they can make the playoffs and they don't get a lottery pick, we can get a late teen, early 20 draft pick, then we're picking up something else. And that kind of makes up if we lose that draft pick for what we gave up for Kai Jones from Texas in this past draft to the Knicks. So it's a trade-off. And you can't fault that route, folks. Now, other than Graham, going away, Cody Zeller. We knew Cody Zeller's days were numbered when, the Plumlee kid, was it Mason Plumlee from the Detroit Pistons that played for Denver before, out of Duke, comes in. The guy's got more game, I think, than Zeller. Zeller's the big pick and roll guy, but I think we'll get more out of Plumlee. How much more remains to be seen. And I just kind of want to give a shout out to Cody Zeller because while he was in Charlotte, he did everything we wanted to do. But with the signing of Plumlee or bringing Plumlee in for these next 2 years, the writing was on the wall that Zeller wasn't coming back. And that was something that we had to really focus on. And the minute that happened draft night, I just started waving bye-bye. I knew Zeller was gone. But he gets a one-year deal in Portland, and let's hope he does well enough there because I want Cody Zeller to have a good career. I want his career to keep blossoming and going on, and we'll go from there. Now, Malik Monk. This is the one I get pissed about. Now, I know I've kind of followed Sam Dracula. He's a YouTuber and does a really incredible job with the Hornets. A shout out to him. Just does great content if you're just interested in Hornet content. And it hit him hard when Malik Monk left. He did a video a couple of days ago and going to the Lakers of all squads. The rich get richer. But the problem I look back on Malik Monk is when we drafted Monk out of Kentucky, we probably should have drafted Donovan Mitchell instead out of Louisville, who's at Utah now, because he'd probably still be with the team. And it would have been a hell of a backcourt with Kemba and Donovan Mitchell. Probably would have been in some playoffs before in that situation. But Malik Monk comes here, very streaky. He'd have a few scoring games. Then he gets himself in trouble. I guess some PED issues or whatever they were. Drug issue, whatever it might have been. He looked like his career was going to be over. We stuck with the guy. And then, this last year being his final year in Charlotte, he stuck on the bench and, Baraggio, the head coach, decided, we're going to keep him on the bench until he learns. And when he finally gets in, he plays well. And man, by the end of the season, you know, we had some injuries, but my God, Malik Monk was playing like a first round draft pick. Malik Monk was playing a part. And I was even saying, damn, I really hope we keep Malik Monk. I want to bring him back, but not over Devontae Graham. But if he could have signed for a smaller salary, or you know, would have come in a free team friendly deal, I think so. But folks, playing a half a year or 3/4 of a season, playing really well, really I'd say a half of a season, playing extremely well, and it's the end of your contract year, so you're showcasing your free agency. Maybe you'll do well for the Lakers and shine. But it kind of pisses me off that we wasted 3 years on a draft pick that didn't do shit here. And then when he finally shines for us, it's at the end, and he demands more money. It is kind of puzzling, like Sam Dracula said, that we didn't put a tender on him. We just let him walk for free. Maybe if we known Devontae Graham was going to get an offer, you know, maybe that's what we should have done. We should have put one on both of them. But then if both of them stayed, your money's limited to what you can do in free agency. Now, with that being said, and our guards are depleted, we really need LiAngelo Ball to step in and play well, regardless if he plays a small forward role or he's probably playing a shooting guard role with the Hornets with his brother LaMelo. We need him to do well to get a contract. I'm still skeptical on his game because I just think he should have been signed or played. And people said, yeah, he was injured when Detroit had him. Still, man, Lonzo's playing in the league, and LaMelo's looking like the best of the three Ball brothers. But LiAngelo, you know, I'm hoping he can make up some of the loss that we've got with Monk and Devontae Graham. And I know he's a shooting guard, a combo guard slash point guard. But we really need him to come through. Now, with that being said, we signed Ish Smith. And Ish Smith played for Washington last. He's played for 11 teams in 11 years, so he's older, folks. But he is a guard. He's from the Charlotte area. Played his college ball at Wake Forest. He is somebody that, with his veteran experience and being a young team, maybe he can come in. And like somebody said, he's got to be better than Brad Wanamaker last year. But he's not going to be Devontae Graham. And I don't think, you know, LiAngelo is going to be Malik Monk. But we've got to hope that they can maintain, because as long as they can play adequate enough, somewhere better than Wanamaker but less than Graham, maybe Bouknight takes over. You know, and then you're hoping LiAngelo can, maybe he won't be Malik Monk, but he can be better than some of the guys, the Martin twins we have on the bench. So that's something to look at, guys. One thing we haven't paid attention to was Biyombo. Doesn't look like Biyombo's coming back. I don't know if Atlanta's going to kick the tires on him. I heard talk about him going back up to Toronto where he's played, but I don't think there's a lot of interest in Biyombo coming back at all. And with a guy like Andre Drummond going to Philadelphia, the center position looks very weak. I don't think there's a lot out there, so we may be done, or we may have one last non-frills signing up our sleeve that, you know, won't mean much. So we didn't address the center position, and we'll go from there. So what do you folks think? Do you think the Hornets are done in free agency? Do you think we'll try to pull off another move? Do you think we'll try to sign somebody like a Miles Bridges, P.J. Washington to a longer-term contract? Leave me some comments. Hit that bell notification and be notified of future content like this. Smash the like button. And by all means, folks, subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. And we will see you on another edition of Carolina Sports Guy.